Hi, today we're going to talk about the distributive property. When I think about the distributive property, I think about multiplication. When I was younger, I was taught that multiplication looked like an x. So I would have 3 times 4 is 12. Then as I got older, I was told that multiplication could look like a dot, and that 3 times 3 was 9. It could also have been an asterisk. I've also seen it this way. 3 times 2 is 6. Well, today what we're going to be looking at is a new form of multiplication called the distributive property. And with the distributive property, we use parentheses, and there's also a number that goes in front of the parentheses. Let's look at this first example. So in our first example, we have 4 times a. That's what the parentheses means. 4 times a. 4 times a is 4a. In the next set, we have a plus 1 times 4. So the sum of a and 1 times 4. So the first thing we do is we multiply 4 times a. Okay. Now, what we can't forget is that there's a plus sign here, so we have to include the plus sign. And then we can multiply 4 times 1, which is 4 times 1. So 4 times a is 4a. Bring down our plus sign. 4 times 1 is 4. And we've now simplified this expression, and that's as far as we can go. Let's try another example. In this example, we have the sum of 6 and c times 2. So we go and we multiply 2 times 6, and then we multiply 2 times c. We have a plus sign, so we put a plus sign. And 2 times 6 is 12, and 2 times c is 2c. Now, what would happen if instead of having 6 plus c, we had the difference of 6 and c times 2? Well, it would be a very similar problem. In this case, we would say 2 times 6, which we know is 12, and then we would say 2 times c, which is 2c, but in this case, we have a negative sign. So we would put minus or subtraction. We would have the difference of 12 and 2c. And that's as far as we can go. We've now simplified that expression. And what would happen if we then had a different form of an expression where we have the sum of 2a plus 7 times 11? Now, just because we have a coefficient next to our variable, the coefficient here being 2 and our variable being a, it actually doesn't change how we multiply. So when we simplify this expression, we have 11 times 2a plus 11 times 7. So in this case, 11 times 2a is 22a. 11 times 7 is 77. And then we bring down our sign, and in this case it's the adding sign. So we have 22a plus 77, and that is as far as we can go. I hope that helps.